Darkness falls, and with it, the truth emerges. In a world where the line between fact and fear is blurred, beneath the surface of forgotten towns and restless graves, hide secrets soaked in blood and whispers that never die. From the chilling depths of true crime to the unexplained shadows of the paranormal, we dive into the stories that haunt both past and present. Welcome to Realm of Darkness.
Ashley, we're on. How are you? I can't hear you. What happened now?
I muted
Okay.
myself because I was yelling at Cameron beforehand. So
Okay, gotcha.
I apologize.
We have been having a few technical difficulties tonight, so we're hoping we're gonna be fine. But Ashley, how are you? It's been a few weeks since we've been here.
It really has been a few weeks. I'm glad to be back, even though we've
Yes.
had quite a few issues and it has been a day. But I'm hoping that those are all behind us because we have a great guest today.
We do have a great guest. If the technology gods let us persist.
Right.
But yeah, and we had a bit of an extended break. I had a bit of a family situation a couple weeks ago, so we had to cancel. But glad to be back. Everybody's good. Everything's ready to go, and we're all set. So
and everyone's healthy. That's what
matters. Everybody's healthy and on the mend. So
yes,
God bless. But today I'm excited because we have one of my favorite people in the little paranormal community. She's actually technically close enough that I'd say she's my neighbor because maybe she lives like an hour away, which is close in our little knit group of people. But I've been fortunate enough to work with some pretty gifted people doing all of this crazy paranormal stuff I do. You, Ashley, I would say would be one, and Kristie London, our guest tonight, is number two. I've been around Kristie quite a bit the last few years, and I could attest to her being legit and just a great person in general. So, Kristie, let's hope this works. Yeah,
I agree. I hope it works because before we bring her on, I've heard a lot about her, but I got to meet her at Rock Island, and
yes,
the moment I met her, it was like knowing her for my whole life. So I'm really excited to have her.
Well, let's hope for the best and see if the technology works. Kristie London, where are you?
Yay!
She's working?
Oh, there I am.
Oh, good. Can you hear us?
Am I here? Am I here?
I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you.
Yes.
You hear us?
Yes. I will tell everybody, like we said, we're having a little bit of issues.
There's a lag. So I guess we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah, just bear with us, everyone.
Goodness. So, Kristie, can you hear me? Yes.
We also have the chat. We can utilize the private chat.
Okay. So I'm kind of curious because we've been friends for quite a few years now. Not quite a few. We're not that old. We're not going to go there. But I'm kind of curious because I've never really talked to you about how you kind of got started with your gifts and stuff like that. So if you wouldn't mind kind of giving me a little bit of a history lesson here.
Sure. I'm here.
See, it's the technology issue.
And really,
oh no.
I wonder almost if we could send the link and she could do it on her phone, maybe.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that might work a little bit better because I think we're getting like the remix version. I'm only hearing one word repeatedly.
Bear with me. I'm going to send her a message.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. We're trying.
Ashley, why don't you tell us about some of the things we have coming up? We usually do that at the end, but
Oh, yeah. Okay. So until we can get Kristie back on, so we have a couple episodes that are getting ready to drop, and it is Dunkirk Lighthouse, which I was really excited about because we did something different in this one, and it was pretty cool. And then we do have Doss House, which I think is going to, I don't want to say blow people's minds, but there was a situation that happened that was all on camera, and I can't wait for everybody to see that. Probably some of the best, because I watched, so probably some of the best stuff that we've had on camera.
You watched that whole thing?
I did. And then in June, we're actually doing the Creep It Real Festival, which is hosted by Shauna and her wife, which are the owners of the Doss House. And the festival is only going to be probably about 20 minutes from where the actual Doss House is.
Yes.
So that's another event we have. And then the big one that I'm excited about is in September when we're going to the Underworld Culture Con. And I know, Nate, you're geeking out a little bit because I've been telling you the people that I'm in contact with who's going to be at the event.
Yes, I'm very excited for that one. Kristie, you're back.
All right. Give me 1 second, you guys.
Oh, yeah. That'll work. That'll work much better, I think.
Oh, this is teeny. Hold on. Let me do the old person thing. Woo, this is teeny tiny. Okay.
But is it working way better?
My glasses is teeny tiny. Well, I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. Oh.
You're definitely working way better now. So.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
100%.
Yes.
And I need to shut that off. All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna get this going.
Hey,
see, I can be a tech too. I can be a tech too. I just, but I still need a mic.
I think Nate was correct before we came on. I think there's something. Nate, what did you say?
I said something's messing with all of us tonight and doesn't want us to talk.
So here's the thing, my friends.
Yes.
All right, now I can give a proper hello to everybody, and thank you for being patient. And anybody who follows myself and my partner Mike from Where's My Sage knows we always have technical difficulties, either before our own show or before any other live show or event we do.
He's over here blaming you in the chat, so just so you know.
And I can't see the chat, so he better watch himself.
I wasn't going to call him out.
What's that?
We'll throw it up for everybody to see.
Oh, thank you, because I can't see that. Oh, yeah. His one opportunity to blame me, but we have a show coming up, so you better watch it. So it's funny you say that, though, because when I was starting to get ready, we all know how spirit works. And as I was starting to get ready for the show, I started to cough. And I don't have a cough. And it was the kind where I had to cough, like really cough to try to get it. And it was like an itch in my throat here. It's bothering me so much that I made sure I had tea and not water. Definitely making me constantly clear my throat. Screwing with our technology hardcore. I absolutely expected there was going to be issues when I came on just because of how things were happening. So I had a conversation with whoever is joining me. It does feel more like a male. And if either of you could please, for the love of God, validate this in any way, shape, or form, that would be wonderful. So let's start with the cough. And it doesn't matter, past or present, male, female, it doesn't matter. Who do you know, especially who did pass, had this awful cough or this thing, this tickle and this thing in their throat?
You got anybody, Ashley?
Not anybody that I think would come through. I have an idea, but I don't remember if they had a cough.
It could have been like a specific issue, or even maybe always had a tickle, because my postnasal drip was going hardcore too. I'm like, guys, I can't clear my throat like this constantly when I'm live on this show. So you're gonna have to help me out here. So that was what I said to the spirit. But So don't worry about who you think would come forward or who you would expect to come forward. Who are you thinking of? Who are you connecting with when I say this?
So me personally, I have a lot of males that have passed in my life. I have 2 grandpas and then I have 2 uncles
Who's
that
the
have
S?
passed. Yes. My dad's in the chat. So Dad, if I'm not catching something,
Love that. Yes, Dad,
um,
please. Please, please. It has, somebody must have thought about it because since we have been able to come on, this has calmed down. Like I'm not coughing like I was. And I think you
Mhm,
each heard me cough at least a little bit.
mhm.
Um, but it's really irritated in this part of my, so sometimes spirit will make me do something and it's not actually what I'm doing, but they're drawing attention to a certain area.
Mhm.
So what about this area of my neck or my throat right
So
here?
every
well,
time we get together, there's always one person
yeah.
that always comes through for me with you, and that was my
Yes.
first guess when as soon as you because he definitely had a neck issue per se because he was in a car accident and that was the
Right.
thing. So
But he's never come through. Here we go.
So,
Sorry.
okay.
Hmm. I think
So
this is more Ashley because this
I
okay,
doesn't feel like that other person to me.
all right.
so I do have a grandpa, and like I said, my dad's in the chat, so I hope he chimes in. So I do have a grandpa that had passed away.
Don't give me
And
details though.
but
What's his first name? Do you remember?
James,
Spell James.
James. But now that you talk about it, when he died, it did involve violent coughing.
Thank you. I'm seeing a so this is your paternal grandpa, correct? Your dad's dad?
No, but
Okay.
he
So
is passed as well.
no, okay. So when they make me feel like the other parent is their child and they're not, that's spirit's way of telling me that they thought of the other parent like one of their own, not just like an in-law, or they had a decent relationship. So did your dad and your mom's dad have a good relationship? Sometimes it can be opposite, but usually it's to show that they thought of them more like a son, not a son-in-law kind of thing.
Um, to be honest, my grandpa didn't have a good relationship with anybody. Like I'm not trying to be, but
No, that's fair. So, but
but
he could have
I
always thought of, or he's telling us now that he actually thought of your father like family, like
yeah.
more than a son-in-law.
I mean, I definitely can see that because my dad was better for my mom as a male in her
Right.
life in general. So I could see that.
Okay. And I'll also say too, the way that he's coming forward does tell me that he was not able to communicate effectively or at all at the time he passed. I don't expect you to be able to
Yes.
validate that. Oh, but you can. Okay.
Yes.
So I also see a thinner. He's on the taller side, but he's not real tall. So I don't know, 5'10", 5'11", give or take. He looks slim and he looks like he's wearing glasses, even if he didn't wear them all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That is an that
They're round.
if I'm thinking of the right person, that would be my uncle on my dad's side.
So, okay, so what's happening is the cough was with James, and now I'm seeing who? Because who's next to me here?
So the kind of taller, thinner man would be my dad's brother, and I called him Uncle Mick.
MIC. Okay.
I think just MIC.
Okay. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Yeah, he's calling you kiddo and he's acting like you're his own child. Like you were close, you had a good relationship with him.
Mhm.
He also was not really able to communicate effectively or at all the
Yeah,
time he passed. So he's going like this, something about his heart. Even if he didn't pass of it, he's telling me he had some sort of heart issue.
I believe. Dad, where are you? He is always blowing
I
up the
know.
chat, and now he's nowhere to be
He's
there.
Emma. Oh, there he is.
He's
There is.
always the
Okay, so
way.
MICK was how my uncle spelled his name.
Okay, that's how I
Um,
spelled it.
and I do believe he had a lot of issues, but I want to say there was something with his heart. Dad, can you
Okay.
confirm that? I'm like, this man is never this quiet. Now when I need him, he's
I know.
radio
Listen, my
silent.
mother keeps us on our toes in our show too. Trust me. We
Yeah,
get
I do
it.
think that person would be my Uncle Mick for sure. It sounds like the mannerisms and everything would be my Uncle Mick.
Okay. Um, so who can you make a connection with an S of some sort?
My dad said, I'm thinking too. I'm trying to think of all their names.
But S could also be the name of like maybe it was the first initial of the name of the street, or maybe it was an S, it was on a Letterman jacket. Like it could literally be anything. It doesn't have to be a name.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
He's showing me some sort of a shed. Now I'm seeing like a shed or something in the like in a backyard or something like that.
That makes sense. My grandma had
Why?
a shed in her backyard.
Okay, and now I'm seeing him pull out an old lawnmower, and then all of a sudden it doesn't look old, it looks new.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
So my grandpa used to fix a bunch of things, and one of the family stories, is that my grandpa tried to fix the mower, and he screwed up, and it like cut half his face off.
Oh Lord.
Well, that's not good as we laugh
he
about
was,
it.
He was fine. He was
Oh,
fine.
good, good.
But it's just like a running funny story that we tell it it comes up at every family party about how my
That's
grandpa
so funny.
tried to fix the mower and like cut the tip of his nose off or something.
Oh man.
And it probably changes every time, right? With this story,
It does.
every time it's told. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many siblings, it changes every time. And we did call my grandpa Pops. I don't know if that has anything to do with the S.
Maybe.
Sorry, now I'm getting text messages because of it.
Par for the course. Par for the course. So there's a sliding glass door out the back that went out to the back. I'm seeing a sliding glass door almost like off the kitchen or off the Eden. It looks like an Eden area, like where the table would be.
Okay.
Maybe it's a different house.
Yeah, I think it might be a different house, but yes, at their second house, there was a sliding door that went out back.
Okay. So I feel like what's going on is because it's all calmed down now and I can just, right? The tickle's all gone. And I just heard one of them say, I hate technology. Which one is this?
Oh, probably my grandpa.
Okay.
Or actually, probably
because I didn't see him. I saw your uncle. I'm hearing your grandpa.
They were both older. One died before technology. Yes, one died before technology ever came around, and the other one, I would say, died right on the cusp of technology.
Gotcha. And I'm glad you said that because your uncle came through, and that's partly why I thought he was your grandpa, because he looks older. He looks like an old man. He has white hair. His face looks older. That could just be how he's presenting, unless he really had the white hair. He has a smaller round head. So the reason they're all coming forward for you, I am. He's over here going, tell her. I'm like, I'm trying to. Like,
that my uncle sounds like him.
Holy cow. I'm like, dude, I'm about to say it. Whatever it is, because my nose had also started to itch earlier. You and your husband, but especially you, are really like whatever it is you guys have on your plate right now, whatever it is you are really worried about that's stressing you out. Your uncles go over here going, calm down, kiddo, it's going to be okay. Like, you need to know that these people are in your corner and they are pulling for you, and it's actually going to really work out in your favor. They're not telling me what it is. It's personal. That's okay. As long as you understand what they're talking about. He's like, really, what a smart ass. He's like, Yeah. Okay.
That,
Thanks. You can go now.
yeah.
What's that? You're
Yeah.
in my living room right now. Okay. Just saying.
He is a jokester, and he will razz you for, so yeah.
Yeah. Very. They feel wonderful. I'm having fun with them. Yeah. So you have a really really lovely family and very loving and caring. Um. He said, "Stop worrying about it. You're making my nose itch." He says, "I'm sorry I had to leave you, your uncle."
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to leave you, and he means you. And I'm in the back of my head. I'm hearing him go, "Well, what?" Your father's like, "Well, what about me?" And he's like, "You don't count." So yeah, um, but they wanted to make sure. Okay, listen, dude, we only have so much time. What is this? This this round old style wash tub, like a metal basin kind of thing.
Oh, that
I
I
love
don't.
this. This is great.
That I know this is not what
Jamie,
I was expecting today. That
I'm so
I don't
sorry.
know.
It never goes the way you expect it with Christy. It's fine. I'm
No,
used to
no,
this.
but I love it because my uncle, he died a long time ago, and
Mhm.
he was
Oh,
always like silly and goofy. So this is really cool. But the basin, that I'm not sure.
I'm seeing somebody actually hold it. Like it has two handles. It's old, like a wash tub kind of like basin thing.
Dad, did you guys have anything like that?
This could be something totally different too, or
Hmm.
somebody totally different. But it is coming from him, so I feel like he is at least bringing it forward.
I'm gonna have to think about that one. That one
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Nathan,
Uh-oh.
can you can you validate this at all? Does this make any kind of sense to you?
Like a wash.
Yeah, like the old style, like from back, in the olden days. Like a big round metal, like they would do clothes in it and they would, use it to wash probably kids and
So the only well, you say it like that. The only thing that comes to mind was like my grandma used to have these big barrels we would play in the backyard. Like they were like I don't know, like big round tub barrels that we would fill up with water every summer and get in and like kind of sit and lounge. in.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that came to mind right then, though. So
Well, my
okay.
dad finally replied and said that they did have one in the basement, and they
mhm,
used to throw all their
Okay.
dirty clothes into it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you
there you
very
go.
much. Um, your uncle says to tell your father, what's your father's name?
Bill.
Bill, pick up your shit. And I'm sure my partner Mike right now is like chomping at the bit, going, "Where's my ticker? Where's my ticker?" Because on our show, he's got it for my potty mouth, which is not always my
Uh,
potty mouth, but I do have a potty mouth, and occasional explicit language. What? So sorry, guys. I can't. Spirit to spirit.
Hey,
uh-huh.
say it. We probably said worse.
I,
Yeah.
But you hear that, Dad? Uncle Mick
I
said,
know
pick
I'm
up
in
your
good
crap.
company. Yeah.
Man,
um.
he
Yeah.
came into the chat. He wasn't expecting to get that kind of heat tonight. That's
I
great.
So it makes sense. That's good because now I'm like starting to overheat here.
Now he's in the chat laughing too.
Good,
hmm
good. I'm glad. They are around all of you, but you especially right now they are rooting for you and pulling for you and your husband.
Well, that makes sense. Nate knows for sure.
I know. Yeah.
Good.
He
Yeah.
knows
All good.
exactly. I'll tell you
hmm
off air, but that makes 100%
Yeah, no, that's
sense.
that's great.
hmm
Good. They're pulling for you. It will happen. It's going to work out the way you want it to work out, is what I'm hearing. You just have to give it time, and it's going to take longer than you think, want, or expect. Um, he's like, just back off. Just let it be. Just let it happen the way it's going to happen.
Yeah, I am pushy.
Yeah.
No.
We're going to say you're anxious and spirited.
Anxious is a good one because
Right?
I am, even
Yeah.
before coming
I
on,
can
I said
feel
I was
it.
a hot mess.
Yeah. I'm having hot flashes half the time. I don't know if it's the perimenopause or if it's spirit or if it's just me. Like, I don't know what's going on anymore. It's awful. But yeah. All right. Thank you. You got 2 kisses blowing your way,
Oh,
and they're leaving. So you can have your show back now. Sorry.
No, you're
no,
good. You're
no,
good.
this is great.
Honestly, that's a perfect segue. What for
Yeah.
people that are watching right now and don't know what just happened? Tell us what just happened. Explain that to everybody that's watching.
Okay, so I am a medium. And I am also a Reiki healer. Oh, well, my ears are really, Nate's used to hearing this. How red are my ears?
Yeah, yeah.
um, I'm a medium. I'm a Reiki healer. I am also a parent, part of the duo Where's My Sage. We have an online podcast. My partner is Mike Ann. He is Tactical Bigfoot Research. Um, and we are paranormal investigators. I am a mentor. I teach, I speak. I do gallery, all those fun things. So what just happened was, um, as spirit can do with a medium, they have, and they love to do it while I'm doing my hair and my makeup. It's always in the bathroom when I'm trying to get ready for something where they start to come to me usually.
Uh-huh.
They can be with me longer, they can come earlier, but usually that's where it starts. Because, we all have our, our things where, we become calmer, and we kind of get lost in our own thoughts. Some people, it happens, more meditative state when you're baking, you're cooking, you're doing whatever. For me, it's I'm starting to
Mhm.
focus while I'm getting ready. So basically that's what happened. Spirit came in. I was able to connect with spirit, give a message. I know you're hoping that this is going to lead into the other thing. I know what you're going to ask. So, and they can do it in all different ways. And as a medium, being able to connect with pretty much anybody, anyone or anything that passed from this life on to the next. It also means I'm already intuitive. So I can read
Mhm.
somebody intuitively. I can talk to your loved ones and your animals, your pets. I can also talk to, and on my right is divine, so I can talk to our spirit guides. I have had angels come in. That is not a norm or a regular thing for me, like it is for some people, but it has happened. But I am in contact with divine side, spirit side, and just intuitively all up in your business. So just all up in your face. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a Reiki healer, the healer part just kind of comes in, and the Reiki just makes it that much better. So, yeah.
So, with you being a healer and being
Mhm.
able to speak with spirit and with divine, are you able to also connect with spirits that people in today's day and age would consider a lower vibration? Ones that maybe have died tragically or died by their own
Yes.
hand that they consider a lower vibration, or is it a
Yes.
medium to higher vibration?
No, it's anybody. It's anyone. So the way I would describe it would be more, I would call them earthbound, people who have not crossed into the light. Um, so in lower vibration, excuse me, and it's funny, and it's not funny, haha, but it's neat to always hear how other people, other mediums, in paranormal investigators describe things and how they see things. Because for me, a lower level is more borderline negative, where just because someone didn't cross, and that just is based on my history, my experience, my beliefs, my upbringing, whatever. Um, but it's just because a person does not cross into the light, there are so many reasons why they won't, or they didn't, or they couldn't. Um, doesn't mean that they are like negative. They're just vibrating at a lower frequency because they have not gone into that light and gone to that next plane, we'll say. So, but yes, I can, to answer that question. Yes, I can. I can connect with people who are in the light, out of the light, not from any plane that people ever really like to talk about. I've
Yeah,
dealt with it all. Yeah,
all of it. You've seen the
all
whole
of it.
thing.
I've
So, like,
seen, yeah.
do like that just happened? Did like things just approach you and like be like, hey,
Mhm.
I wanna say something? Like, is that usually just how it
Yes.
happens?
Yes, it can. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you learn to control it and be more in control of things.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because this is a responsibility. As a medium, we are here for a reason. We have a purpose to serve, but we're also human, and we have a life to live and
Mhm.
responsibilities to take care of. So,
Mhm.
when my kids were younger, if I was running late and I had to pick them up and I'd run to the store, and All of a sudden, spirit comes in for the lady who's in the frozen food section. I'm like, "Oh, I don't have time for this."
Hmm.
So, you kind of just sometimes learn to either say, "I'm sorry, I'm not working," or if you can feel it might be important. I used to make a deal with spirit. If I pass by this person two more times in my short travels throughout this store, if I see them again twice, then I will know it's important. And Abby, Billy, or Bree will just have to wait for a few minutes until I
Hmm.
go get them. If not, I'm sorry. We'll make sure we get it to them a different way, or you have other things you can do to help deliver the
Hmm.
messages. So sometimes I was late picking up the kids, and sometimes I wasn't. Just depended on situation. So.
So there's no shutting it off at all, is there? Like, is there, or you know what I
There
mean?
are
Like, is there a way
boundaries.
you set boundaries and stuff
There's
like that?
boundaries, yes. Like, and I have, I think a lot of us have little rituals. Your uncle's coming back.
Sorry. Leave her alone. Go find something to do until we're done.
Excuse me. So sorry.
You're good. You're good.
It's not strong. He's like sneaking it. Like, I just want to be here now. That's why I'm not like full on choking right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
But what was the question?
I was
Sorry.
like, you said you were talking about boundaries and stuff like that. Because I asked if there's
Yes,
like just shut things. Like, say you're
that's a good
home and
question.
you want to do
Hmm.
your thing and you don't want to be bothered. Is there a way to?
Absolutely. Yep. I keep my home protected. I keep my family protected. I keep spirit protected too. So yeah, like when I come home at night, um, this is not a super highway here, especially when my
Hmm.
daughter was still living here, when I was still right, when she's the last one,
Hmm.
Bree's the last one. But yeah, it's even for my own peace of mind, my own sanity to be able to turn off because I do work. I'm a healthcare
Hmm.
worker as well. So I do this as, also. We need our time, we need our space, being able to sleep. No, I
Hmm.
don't want to hear you having a party in my house while I'm trying to sleep
Hmm.
at night.
Hmm.
So I do have rituals like when I come home, or rather when I go to bed at night, I start to shut everything off and I'll say, okay, everybody, it's time for sleep. No more shenanigans, no more whatever. And I shut everything off and I go to my room and I shut down for the night. In the
Hmm.
morning, I will get up and I'll say good morning because, and I'm addressing my guardians, my guides, my angels, my team, of divine and even my family that watch over me and my ancestors and that are always on guard for me so I can live my life and do what I'm supposed to be doing in this way. So and when I leave for work in the morning or anytime I leave at all, it's okay, everyone, take care of the house, keep everyone safe,
Hmm.
hold down the fort, we'll see you later. And then I greet them when I come back. Um, we all have our own ways of doing things and it just comes natural depending on what we're doing and how we're doing it. So, but there are times where, yes, someone will come in or my house will feel
Hmm.
unsettled. And so, um,
Hmm.
I will have to address it. And if it's necessary, I will allow that I'll help them. And if
Hmm.
not, they're out, they're on their way because
You need to
I
leave.
want my downtime.
You're not
Yeah.
paying. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
paying
Yeah.
rent. You
Yeah.
need to leave. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is not, if there's not a purpose, if there's not a reason, then no. Yeah, we're
Hmm.
not going to just hang out. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
So we have a question in the chat that says,
Okay.
have you ever had to turn down the communication from a spirit?
Turn down, you mean
Or
like
or like completely turn them away? Not in a later or not in a, we'll get them a message in a different way, but no, I'm not doing this. You need to go kind of shut down.
um, yes, not anytime recently. Yeah, there was one time actually, where because it is important that we figure it out. If spirits come into us, if it's a rogue spirit or something like that, because they can find us. They don't have to be from anywhere around here. We shine. Our light shines, and they are attracted to our energy. Um, but I had this one time where I did have a student that was working with me, and her big gift seemed to be helping more rogue type spirits. And they would find her and they were
Hmm.
earthbound and she was supposed to cross them over, which is a beautiful gift to have,
Hmm.
or help them to cross over. This guy and she was able to describe him. And I had told her, right now, until we get you to a certain point and you know what you're dealing with, you can't interact. It's not safe. You have a
Mhm.
family. We have to be responsible. That's why you're doing this. So one step at a time, taught her how to, nicely turn them away. And set her boundaries. So I was getting ready to go do a show or a party, and I was getting ready in the bathroom, and she was texting me back. We're going back and forth about it, and I'm like, "You got this. Don't worry about it. You have to just be firm with your boundary, just like you're talking to your boys, right?" No sooner did I tell her to finally put her foot down than he was standing next to me in the doorway of my bathroom as I was like, got the curling iron in my hair. And I was
Mhm.
like, I looked over, I was like, what? And it was exactly how she described him and then some. And he simply said, let her talk to me. And I said, no, she's not ready. You need
Mhm.
to go find somebody else who can help you. So it's not that I didn't turn him away, but
Mhm.
I knew it was not for me to help him. And
Mhm.
sometimes though, we are also tested. So even though I don't think that was necessarily a test, it was how are you going to handle it if you can't do that? They will be able to find somebody else. Or when she's ready, come find her again. You know,
Mhm.
but yeah, there's not many times have I had to turn a spirit away. But they also do have to follow our rules. They
Yeah.
have to be respectful, just like, for us, it's respect and gratitude always for them. They don't have to talk to us. I don't care who they were or what they did that was good or bad. Um, and whether they're in the light or not, it does not matter. But they also have to respect the fact that if we say you're not allowed to be here, or stop touching me, or I am not working right now, you can't bother me, they have to respect that, and they have to stop.
Mm.
So
So, can you kind of like go into how you protect yourself from different things and whatnot? As far as like, are there like certain things you do to like keep your house, you know,
sure.
safe, or like keep your
Hmm.
safe? You go on a lot of investigations. We've gone on investigations, and you
Yeah.
and Mike go on investigations. What
Yeah.
kind of describe
Yep.
your process of like how to protect yourself going into different situations like that?
Sure. Grounding and protecting is big for me.
Mhm.
But over the years, I've grown, I've gotten stronger. Mediums, I do believe, are protected in a special kind of way by the divine,
Mhm.
although that doesn't make us, we're not untouchable.
Yeah.
We still have to do our part. But I really, grounding, protecting, and shielding myself in a bubble of white light. It is as strong as steel. It is wispy like a little light cloud, but it is also my filter. Um, I can push that out as far as I need, or I can pull it in as tightly as I need it. Um, I also use stones and crystals to grid.
Oh.
We got somebody sassy
He
that's
was
back.
like, he's like over here going, sorry, just 1 minute. He's
Mhm.
tell Ashley she looks pretty today.
Thank you.
I'm
What
like,
did you say
really?
about me? What do you say about me?
He says, trim your beard.
Nah, fair, fair enough. It's the
I told
winter
you he
beard.
was
It's
a
going away soon.
jokester.
So, and yes, I have given him permission. I had a talk with them before I even knew really who they were. I knew someone was
Mhm.
trying to come forward. So I opened the door for them to do
Yeah.
that. But I use crystals, I use salt, I use sage, I use Palo Santo. And I just over the years I have also attained, because I've done my part, basically, that just to wrap it in a nutshell, as far as that goes, like when we do our part and we become stronger, we also gain the help and the extra protection. And as we oh, this menopause brain just sucks. I'm so sorry. As we raise our vibration, and we level up, as I like to say,
Mhm.
um, we do earn that next level of protection as well.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
depending on what we need to do and what we're called to do, we're going to be provided what we need to do the job, basically. So I know that there are, you know, um, the divine looks out for me. And so do, I have a team of guides. And I do also have family that does come from my right that are on, they're not guides like guides, divine guides, because they weren't human, but some of
hmm
my family does come from my right and works as part of my team as well. So
So when you were younger, or whenever this ability came to light, how did you know what it was, and what made you want to hone in and become what you are today? And how, I mean, and I say that and Nate laughs, but it's
Uh-huh.
incredible because
I
I don't,
understand you.
yes, I
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
think
You
people
and I understand each
understand.
other very well.
Yes, like
I get it. I
I
get
don't
it.
think people understand there are an array. I mean, everybody has abilities to some
Yeah.
point, but there is an array of different levels of abilities. And Nate
Sure.
and I talk about it, and you're definitely one where we're like, if she says it, it's true. Because,
Oh,
hmm
I
thank
mean,
you.
you have blown our minds over and over and over again. And that's why
Oh.
at what point did you think like, okay, this is really a gift I've been given, and I'm gonna take it, and I'm going to, elevate myself to this level.
So it's funny because the way you say that, that's how a lot of people look at it, and that's really not the case. I simply learned how to just say screw it and just be me.
hmm
And that was it's a reminder sometimes that I need from people who knew me. My grandpa likes to come in and remind me of that sometimes. You need to be who you were when you were that little kid running around. You didn't have a care in the world what people said about you. You didn't even know, and if you did, you didn't even let it bother you. Like you just do you, right? And I would have to say, because I can remember back to age 3 having experiences and doing what I do, just not realizing that's what I was doing because it's all I knew. So that was just me. But as a teenager in the 90s, when the Montel Williams show was on, and
Sylvia
she started
Brown.
having, yes, Sylvia Brown. And
hmm
Hmm.
I was very, very, very drawn to her, and I didn't know why. And in the 80s, people didn't really, this was not a thing. You especially did not
hmm
hear about it, and they didn't talk about it. And um, so when she came along and I just happened to catch the show one time, I was very drawn to her. I was like, oh my God, that would be so cool. As I'm watching her going, wow, that's amazing. In the back of my head, I'm hearing, you can do that. This is who you
hmm
are. And still not really comprehending it. It wasn't until a friend of mine that I grew up with, who is also very gifted, Amanda Newberry, she, she, we had lost touch, we grew up, lost touch. She moved away, came back. She and her son actually went and took classes and then needed people to practice on. So we had reconnected on Facebook, and I said, she put it out there. We're looking for, volunteers. We'll come and read you for free. We just want to practice. And I was like, yeah, sure. Come on over. And by then I was in my early 30s. I can't believe I can say that. So another harsh reality of this life that we live, right? I'm like, where did my life go? So, I had them over, and um, that was it. That was all she wrote. They came over, they started reading me. The house started to shift. House started making noises they hadn't made before. And before you knew it, I was reading them.
hmm
And I was like, holy, what just happened? Like, is this even happen? Is this really happening? And Mandy was like, if you didn't volunteer, I was calling you because I have been hounded because you're not listening. And I was like, what are
hmm
you talking about? And we had my ex at the time, he was in training, and we had a lot going on. Bree was little. I had the 2 other kids that were older, and, we were all over the place and work. And I was like, okay, what are you talking about? She was like, you can do this. We were 5 years old on my swing set, and we knew that we were different. We knew, and I was like, well, you're not wrong.
hmm
But and she said, no, you can do this. You just have to practice. You need to go study. I've been told that they've been knocking on the door and you are not answering it. So here I am. And I was like, well, damn. Okay, here I go. And then then the rest is history. So I did. I signed up, I took classes. Um, and then I mentored with somebody else after that. And yeah, I just, I pop into different lectures and different talks and different whatever. We never stop learning. It doesn't matter. But the biggest thing that matters with all of this is self acceptance, self confidence. And if you don't have those things, it doesn't matter if you're gifted or not, or if you acknowledge that you
Mhm.
have gifts or not, you're not going to go anywhere in life without those things.
Mhm.
And believe me, I've had probably every roadblock that could be thrown at me as far as self-esteem and self-acceptance and self-confidence and self-confidence. And at some point you do just kind of look at it and say, if I'm going to be who I'm going to be,
Yeah.
it's either shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
that door swung open, but when the door swung open and I started doing that, just even with when I did it with Mandy in my house that day, I was like, this is it. This is actually what I've been seeking my whole life. Like this,
Mhm.
this is it. I've been in healthcare. I've volunteered at church. I've always known I was meant to take care of people and help people, um, even as a kid. And that was it. Like I finally felt like I came home. So the rest is history, and nothing was getting in my way with that.
That's
So
incredible.
yeah.
So we've been friends for like probably 5 years, and I've never even asked you this because honestly, I'm kind of,
Are you sure you've
I
asked me a
guess,
lot of things?
no. So
We've had a lot of very good conversations.
we have, and I always love them. So, um,
Hmm.
I you're probably gonna laugh at this. I don't know what Reiki is. So how about, can you kind of describe what that is? I know.
Hold
I'm
on, wait
sorry.
a minute, wait a minute,
We
hold
both
on.
just
You're
need the same
I
face. We're
know.
like,
you're
I know.
catching heat from the spirit world right now.
I probably could have looked it up, but I'm like, well, let me ask Kristie what it is.
I can't.
So Reiki healing is Reiki energy healing is Reiki is universal life force energy. And I practice and I've been attuned to the traditional way of doing that. But when, there are different modalities of healing out there, right? This is just what I was called to do, but I was already a healer. I was already born a healer, right? So
Mhm.
that only helped to enhance, make tangible what I'm capable of, because I'm capable of pulling energy from people. I'm capable of managing energy for people, or I mean everything is energy, right? Everything is,
Mhm.
we all are. So um Reiki healing is not that. Reiki healing is when you actually connect with the universe, the energy around you. You are a conduit only. And that life force energy runs through you into whoever or whatever you are sending that energy to. You don't take it on. I always tell people it's not like John Coffey from the Green Mile. You're not taking on the energy where you're going to have to expel it later. That's actually just what
Mhm.
I do naturally because it's who I am.
Mhm.
But it's, you are simply giving it. And the cool thing about Reiki is that because it's running through me, I also benefit from it. Right. So we are
Mhm.
also receiving it, which is amazing. I can never pronounce it, but I practice the traditional usu roiho. I can never say it. I will never, I'll go to my
Mhm.
grave not being able to pronounce that. But yeah, so I actually did that with my friend Melanie Rimkus.
Mhm.
And I actually mentored with her just earlier on too, with mediumship and things
Mhm.
like that. And that's how we became friends after that. We had already been getting along. I met her through my first mentor, Ivy. And yeah, it's amazing. Reiki is so cool because you can give it long distance. You don't have to be right there. It's an amazing experience because I
Mhm.
have a massage table, but we don't use it. It's not massage. You're taught light
Mhm.
touch. So you're just laying hands very gently like this,
Mhm.
but a lot of us don't actually touch you. Like I don't touch
Mhm.
you. I will work
Mhm.
in your energy field. And people will tell me that, oh, when you were on my feet and I could feel you, your hands were around my toes. And I was like, well, I wasn't because I didn't touch you. And usually when they think I'm down there, I'm at their head. What they're feeling is my Reiki guide who comes in and does it with me.
Wow.
So that's another whole thing
Uh-huh.
too. So I have guides that come in and work with me, healing guides. So um yeah, it's pretty cool. But that's neat. That's Reiki in a nutshell. It's
Okay.
universal life force energy. You can give it. And then the nice thing is too, like if someone comes in and tells me, I really hurt my knee when I was running last week, it's not going away. I can work on that knee. But if your body says, she tweaked her back, we need it to go up here, it's going to go up there.
Hmm.
Your body's going to do what it needs with it.
Okay.
It promotes rest, it promotes relaxation. You can do it as just something that, not just, but you can do it because you just need or want that rest and relaxation and rejuvenate yourself.
Mhm.
People who, it's been actually proven, because Roswell Park Cancer Institute uses it for patients. It's actually been proven to help with side effects. And I have, not at Roswell, but I have worked with cancer patients who come,
Mhm.
and you can feel it does give them a sense of relief in some ways.
Hmm.
People with chronic issues, I've been able to pick up on issues with people
Mhm.
and help them catch certain things before they actually become an issue or a problem. So, yeah.
That's wild.
So Reiki is pretty amazing. There is
Mhm.
so your uncle must have had issues with, I mean, I am a chapstick fiend, but he must have had issues with the dryness too, because he's like right here. And I'm getting, I know I'm doing a lot of talking too, but it feels different. So
Well, if he becomes too much, tell him go away for a little bit.
yeah. He's good. He's cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much that's Reiki, the
And
short
like
version.
people could like reach out to you and like book a
Mhm.
session with you to do Reiki.
You can. Right now, I am doing them virtually because I don't have an office anymore
Mhm.
to bring anyone to. So my private reading sessions and my Reiki sessions are done virtually, but
Mhm.
I conduct them the same way. We set up a time, we do a video chat, and yes, I
Mhm.
promise, my it usually does work. Um, because I know it was my problem. I know the issues were
Mhm.
me. Um, but we do that. We talk, we chat just like we would in my office. And then you will have already had like an area set up so that you could go to a quiet space to meditate, relax, whatever. We set a timer when we're ready. We go to our respective corners. I sit and actually go into a meditative state, and I work on you as if you are in front of me on my table. And then we come back and we talk about it. And as a medium, you may also get messages. So if anyone pops in during your
Mhm.
session, I will deliver those messages as well. You do not have to be a medium. You don't have to be connected to or in tune with any of gifts at all. You don't have to be
Mhm.
gifted. You can just do it. I was actually the only in my level 1 and 2, I was the only medium in that class.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people do it. Massage
Mhm.
therapists, they know that they're capable of it.
Mhm.
Nurses, healthcare workers, you just, a lot of us already know we're capable of more, and we go to learn these things to help benefit. It is one of those things too where you have to practice some ethics. So, you can't just go giving it because you walked by so and so, at the supermarket, and you can tell they're in pain. You can't force it on someone. It is kind of like healthcare. It is actually recognized, and you can insure
Mhm.
yourself to do it. Right, New York State does recognize this, but what you can do if you can't get permission is you can send it to them. You can send a little ball of energy to the soul of somebody, and when their soul is ready and willing, they will pick it up. So,
That's wild. That's not something that I really knew anything about. So
yeah,
I'm now I've learned something.
that's
Something I didn't
right.
know about
Good.
you, Kristie. This is great.
It is a really cool thing, and
Mhm.
I've never had it done, but I got to witness it being done, and um, without going into too much detail, the person was going through a hard time, and
Mhm.
watching it be done, it also released a lot of emotion that that
Oh,
person was
yes.
holding in, and they
Yes.
during it they had
Mhm.
a, I don't want to say a breakdown, but they
Yep.
started sobbing, and
Yep.
it was
It's a cleansing.
incredible. Yes, it
Yep.
was incredible to watch and be like, wow. And the
Oh,
one
yeah.
I watched, she never touched him. Never touched him.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's I always tell people we're going to cleanse you from the inside out, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Some people feel, and the experience, I miss being able to do it. I'm hoping sometime in the near future I will be able to get out and have an office again, because it's one of those things where to be able to do it in person, and have the ambiance and just be there in the moment and feel the energy. Um, I think it really just enhances the experience for people and for me. But yeah, it is, people will, men especially, oh my God, I can't believe I cried, or oh my God, I can't believe,
Hmm.
because you are releasing, and that's the idea.
Hmm.
And later you can be very tired for days, you can feel drained, you can feel whatever, but it's a good thing, because your body has taken on all this positive energy, and it's released the things that no longer should be there. So yeah, lots of water and green tea is usually what I recommend after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during your mentorships and during, all of your learning, what was something that you felt was probably the most beneficial in your journey?
When
I
I
know
was
that's a
when I
like,
was learning myself.
yeah. I
Hmm.
know it's a hard question because I'm
Actually,
sure there's so much, but
I thought it was going to be a hard question, but it's really not, because let's just say I had to learn just to take what was going to serve me when I worked with when I took classes with my first mentor, and I had to just leave it at that. But again, it was kind of par for the course with my life, where, it wasn't going to happen the way it would normally happen with people. And I had to just learn to take what was good for me and leave the rest. And that's what I did, but it just makes me stronger. And so I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot of how to be confident, and how to just keep going. Once I really opened up and accepted who I was and committed, um, my guides really stepped up and were like, "We got this." And all the thoughts I've always had, the way I think, the way I see things, the way I do things, um, I didn't let people tell me I was wrong. Not that I'm always right. I'm a human being, but when it comes to certain things, just because you can't validate it doesn't mean I
Hmm.
don't know what I'm talking about. And so
Hmm.
like it's all those little things that you learn to own. You own your shit.
Hmm.
You really do.
yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to. So the most important thing I learned was, you can't let someone tell you it has to be their way or no way. And if you can't do it their way, that you're not good enough, or you can't be certified. There's no such thing as being certified as a medium. Okay. That
Hmm.
is one of the things that truly pisses me off. I didn't get certified because I didn't do things her way,
Hmm.
but I did them my way.
Exactly.
And
Right.
here I am. So,
That's like
um,
saying you're an expert in the paranormal. It's not a thing.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
Well,
not. No,
and
no.
everyone's different, so you have to find
Yeah,
your own way and your own niche,
exactly.
or it's
Hmm.
You
not
got
going to
it.
be as successful.
Hmm.
Absolutely. That's one of the first things I tell people who mentor and work with me now, is that do not ever, if you ever go to take classes or work with somebody and they tell you you have to be able to do it this way, your gifts might not work that way. That's asinine. No,
Hmm.
absolutely not. I will never tell you that. I'm going to tell you to focus on working with me when you work with me. And when we're done, if you feel compelled to go on to the next thing, you do that, and you give that person your full attention, and you take from that what you need to take from that. We never stop learning. And if you think you do, you have no business, because now your ego is
Hmm.
getting in the way. Um, we are always in some way, shape, or form learning and growing. We have to be open minded that way. We have to.
When I think too, people that get into it, or people that like to have readings done, just because it doesn't make sense at that exact moment doesn't mean it's not going to hit you 2 hours later. And
Right.
with you and a lot of our other friends, we know a lot of mediums in the field, and
Mhm.
I've had someone say, "Oh, this came through," and I'm like, "No, I don't know what that is." And then 2 hours later, I'm like, "Oh my
Yep.
god!" And it hits you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I've
Yep.
always been told, when that happens, that message was meant to hit you when you were alone, not in that
100%.
moment. And that's
Or
what I
in the
always,
appropriate moment. Like
yes,
maybe you're supposed to be with somebody else and have that moment together too,
yeah.
but you're absolutely right. Hmm.
And that's why I tell anybody that gets a reading, I'm like, listen, when you go into this, go open minded. And just because it doesn't make sense at that moment doesn't mean in an hour, 2 hours, 4 days, it's going
Right.
to hit you. So just don't be like, oh no, you're wrong, and then just shut it down. I'm like, you
Hmm.
have
Right.
to go in with that open mind.
Yep. I always tell people, we're going to put a pin in this.
Hmm.
I'm not receiving anything else, and you can't validate it. So we're going to put a pin in this. If spirit wants to clarify it, they will. If you think of something to validate it, we're going to pick up where we left off with that. But yeah, and when you're in the moment with the readings too, it is a lot to process. And sometimes, like just like with the S thing, where I gave you the letter S. I got nothing else. Who knows? It could literally be anything. So from the perspective with which we're looking at that, um, it's going to change 10 times between now and I mean, I've gotten messages a year or two later from people and they're like, I don't expect you to remember this, but
Mhm.
we could not make sense of this and it happened. Great. They don't always tell me, or I don't always know
Mhm.
or realize that it's a future thing. Sometimes they can't know it's a future thing. And then other times I've had spirit come right out and say, or the guides come right out and say, we're not going to tell you that because you'll obsess about it. So they're
Mhm.
Yeah.
very blunt with the person
Yeah.
I'm reading. And they're like, no, we're not giving you those details because we know how you are. And this is what you have to learn, So sometimes they're
Mhm.
very, very blunt and straight to the point. Other times they're not. So yeah. Sorry, I have
So
this little hair.
let's switch gears a little bit here. Mike's been in the chat the
Mhm.
whole time here.
I can only
So
imagine.
you and Mike, you guys actually host a show on it's Facebook, right? Are you still streaming on
Facebook and
YouTube as
YouTube.
well?
Yeah. So
Mhm.
Where's my
I know it's on
sage?
YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
Facebook and YouTube. Yep.
so you are obviously the medium and the Reiki, a bit of paranormal. Mike does a lot of Bigfoot stuff and
Yes.
some
Cryptid.
paranormal because I've known you guys have done stuff.
Mhm.
How
Oh
did
yeah.
this come together with two people from two different aspects of
I can see him right now going, oh shit, here we go.
And I was
Because in
gonna
the
say,
story, he does not look good.
well, and he put
Well,
Bigfoot people in here, and I was gonna say he needs to come to Ohio because, like 10 minutes from my house, we have had numerous Bigfoot sightings,
mhm.
and I'm like,
is
listen,
that
We'll come. We'll
I'm
come.
not
Let's
going
do it.
looking just because they're bigger and they're faster and stronger. So I'll be in the car, but I'll keep it unlocked for you guys.
Keep it on light for you
I'll keep
guys
it unlocked.
until I decide to hit it the last second. No.
Uh-huh.
So funny story. So we met at his Dill house actually. And it was an event that it was a last minute thing for me and it was last minute for him. So he used to belong to a couple of other groups as well. And one was headed up by Jack Kenna. So Jack was having this like public, the tickets were put out to the public, but there were a lot of seasoned investigators who were just getting together to do this. So um I messaged Jack when I saw it last minute and said, "Hey, do you have any more room? You're going to be in my neighborhood." Because he and I had chatted before about certain things. So I was like, "If you have room, I'd love to go." And oh my gosh, I can't even read that. Oh, road
Rick
trip,
Perry said
absolutely.
road trip for the,
Yep, absolutely.
for the
We'll make it a party at
Bigfoot.
Ashley's house.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, come on over.
um, so last minute, he's like, "Oh yeah, yep, come on, just pay me when you get here, whatever." I was like, "Cool, right?" So there were, I did not know at the time, but two groups who kind of intersected or something. Mike's probably correcting me, but you get the gist. So they were there, and then a few of us who were kind of like outsiders that were coming in. So um I remember when I pulled up, he was actually back when he used to smoking a cigarette out in his trunk because he didn't have the Jeep at the time. It was like this hatchback car thing.
Mhm.
So, and he's like waving me over. I wasn't going to park because I didn't want to hit him. And he's like, some ornery guy. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I
Mhm.
go and I park over wherever. That was the extent of our interaction for like the first 2 or 3 hours of the night. Like we didn't even, right? So, he went off like with Steve Culls and some other people and did whatever. I went off with Jack and some other people and we're doing the paranormal thing. They were doing the Bigfoot thing. So fast forward a few hours, we all like were convening at a certain time back in the living room. So he was sitting on the couch that was against the far back wall. And Dan used to have a chair that was, next to it was kind of like kitty corner to the couch a little bit with the table in between. So I just sat down and there were a couple other people in the room. And I just kind of made small talk with him. And he's like, huh? Yeah. Right. And so me
He's like,
being
oh,
me,
who's this?
his grandfather comes walking through the wall into the living room. And I'm like, oh, so did you? Blah, 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 blah," And I'm describing. And he's like, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Huh? And all I know is I heard somebody, and it ended up being Steve Cole, but I did not know at the time. I heard, hey, yo, Mike, Mike, Mike. That bad boy, he was gone. He jumped off that sofa so fast. But Steve was like, let's go get a smoke. Microwave out the door. I was like, was it something I said? I mean, there's dust behind you. So fun. He could not get out of there fast enough. It was so funny. I scared the crap out of him. And I was like, what? Your grandpa's standing right in front of you. What do you want me to do? I'm a
Yeah.
medium. You know, I'm a medium. We're in one of the most haunted locations in America. Like, what's the deal? Right. So, yeah. So after that, I connected with everybody there. Like Marilyn and Keith were there. That's when I first met them. So there was just that whole group, and one way or another, even if it's just a random high once in a while, it was
He
a
said
great group.
gone. He was gone.
He was gone is an understatement.
He even put it big letters.
His boots were still sitting there. It was so funny. So yeah, so clearly, he's a glutton for punishment because here we are. Was in what, 2018? So yeah.
You
So
guys
and
were
I
just
will
like,
say
hey,
he
let's
was
start a show and let's talk about everything.
yeah. Well, we became friends, and he's made public that yes, he was my one of my worst students ever. I was like, this isn't gonna work, but it would be cool. No, actually.
Kristie can't read
You
that
just
one.
click with
I
people.
know.
You just click with people. But yeah, he no, but what happened when Paranormal Warehouse, I think it was, wanted me to do a show. And at the time I didn't want to do one on my own. So I was like, hey, we can do this virtually. You want to do this with me? Because he was good with the tech stuff. I was not. So that's really how a show was born. Because then I was like, well, we should do something with this. And so that's how the ball got rolling on that level, or in that way. And so here we are all these years later. But so yeah. That's all she wrote.
So I have to say, I did put it up on the screen, but he put, the house did not scare me, but she did. And in my head, that's exactly how it sounded when he typed it.
Yep. So how often do you guys go live with the show now?
So we used to do it over COVID. We started, it was every week. We took a year or so off between some deaths in the family and then work schedules and things like that. So now we are back and we are doing it every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. So
Tuesday at 8?
yes, Tuesday at 8. And this coming Tuesday will be actually a reading show. So I'll be giving readings to the audience. And
okay, so like people could just join in and be like, hey, what's grandma doing?
Questions in the chat. Yeah, questions in the chat. Yeah. And sometimes I even spring it on him at the last minute. I'm like, hey, can you put the link up and they can actually join us in the studio? And he's like, oh my God. And he's like rushing around to do it. I'm like, oh, you should already have this done. I shouldn't even have to say it, but whatever.
I love it.
I do that to Nate all the time. It's okay.
I understand. Nate's good at that. I know.
I'm good under pressure.
He is. Well, even today,
he really is.
Even today, I was so excited about tonight's show, and I was like, I do not want to miss it. But I worked till 7, and then my son had homework, and he didn't eat, and he all this stuff. And I'm like, Nate, and he's like, I got it. Just get to the show. And I'm like, okay. And so he did everything for me within 10 minutes.
Yeah, I believe it. Are you kidding me? Oh, whenever Nate and I worked together, I knew he had my back. 100%. I didn't. There are very, very few people in this world that that I know I can count on. You have to really earn that with me because I've been let down so many times. And again, energy with Nate just clicked. And every time we would go out and do a project, he and I always got paired up together, and I was fine with that because I knew he was going to take care of things, or he was going to have my back if I needed it. So, yeah. Yep, hands down.
He's all right.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, you're my number 2. Sorry, Mike's my number 1.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Well, and you know what? You're so right. You do have to find those people you click with, because just the way that you guys met, kind of ironically, Nate and I met really in a weird, ironic kind of way. And then it was we investigated and we had so much fun, and we were the investigation, we'll have to tell you another time, because it's not about us. But the first time we investigated together, we got paired up in the basement, and we were dying laughing over stuff. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be friends for a while.
Yeah, he's not too bad. We'll keep him around, right?
Yeah, for now,
Mhm.
for now,
Yeah,
Yeah,
till he acts
I'm all
up,
right.
and we'll get rid of him. No, just
right.
kidding.
I'm
And that's
not
you
the
and me,
best,
girl.
but I'm not the worst, so that's all that matters. I'm somewhere in there. Well, it's funny
Aw.
you say stuff like that, and one of the things that always happens whenever I'm around either one of you guys, and I don't know why, I'm not a psychic at all, but all of a sudden I start becoming gifted, and I'm like, well, there's somebody over here, and there's somebody. How does that happen?
Mhm.
Explain that to me.
And that's actually something I warn, and I was warned
Mhm,
about, and when I was mentoring, and now that I mentor,
mhm,
um, it is very true. When you have somebody who's working on, or you're around people who are gifted, it naturally allows you on some level to relax. Some people, not everyone can do it, but
mhm,
you can't even help it because you're immersed in that energy, and you're immersed in that just their way is the best
mhm,
easiest way for me to say it. So it's like, your kids, your spouse, your partners, whoever, they're it's like their inner self is connecting in a way that consciously we don't even realize is happening.
mhm,
So, what you are capable of as a human being, which I do believe we are all capable of being intuitive. I'm not, I waver honestly with the whole everybody can be a medium thing.
mhm,
I don't always feel like everybody's capable of that. There's
mhm,
nothing wrong with that. It's not that one is better
yeah,
than the other. It's not. It's
mhm,
just, it just goes deeper. And I feel like some of us are just tested with certain things, because I believe once a medium, always a medium through every lifetime, because we're here to do a job. We're
mhm,
here for a reason. So, we have responsibilities. So I think it's just different, we'll say. But yeah, it's just that you don't realize that inner piece of you, because it's just being exposed to the energy of whoever is gifted or is working on themselves. You're connecting on that level, and you're not even aware
mhm,
that's happening. So
mhm.
it just kind of starts, for the rest of you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you get
Mhm.
around people, can you instantly tell if they are gifted or have abilities? And
Usually, not
if
always. Oh,
not
sorry.
always, no. And I was gonna say, and like if they don't know or they're not aware, do you ever mention like, hey, like you have abilities that you could, tap
um,
into?
I mean, even though I have what my kids call my Long Island media moments, no, I don't just walk up to random people and tell them that. I will walk up
Mhm.
to a random person and say, "Hey, I've got your dead grandfather standing next to me. Would you like a message?" No, I'm
That's a
I
great
approach it
conversation
way
starter, yeah.
I approach it
It's
way
a
differently than that.
Uh-huh.
But no, but in readings a lot it'll come up for sure. And more than not, they will say, "Yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that," or, "Oh yeah,
Mhm,
I know, I keep being told that." So that is nice to hear in return. But yes, I have, yeah. I mean, but
mhm,
again, if I'm called to talk to someone in the frozen aisle at Wegmans and tell them they need to work on their gifts, then I guess that's what
mhm,
I'm doing. So yeah.
mhm,
it's I do think, I always call them like baby mediums, which are the ones that are just starting out, just starting to learn. I think there's like
Yeah,
they question themselves a lot, and it's like,
they do.
oh, was that a
Hmm.
coincidence or was that real? Did
Right.
that really happen? So I think like them hearing it from people that are, at your level, I think it helps because they're like, okay, I'm not crazy.
Yes.
This really
Oh,
happened. So I was just wondering.
yeah. No,
Mike's
yeah, that's a
comment in the
good.
chat.
What did it say? I can't see
Oh,
it.
Makes going to restaurants fun. We can attest because that happened in Rock Island as well, where
yes,
Christy
That's
started
very
talking to the
good.
waiter.
yes. But I
My
can also second that she did.
my daughter Abby still tells people, "Yeah, she left me in a diner when we were having breakfast one time. And she, yeah, I sat there all by myself." I'm like, "Listen, number
Uh-huh.
one, you were 14. Okay. Stop making it sound like you were 5 years old and I left you.
You
Okay."
were abandoned, yeah.
Number two, I was 5 tables down. You could see me, you could reach me. All
Mhm.
right. But yeah, yep, yeah, it tends to happen that way.
Oh,
But
when
you know,
it happens, you know?
well, that's just it. And you have
Uh-huh.
to kind of, yeah, those are one of those
Mhm,
moments. But I will say, there's one thing I do want to address is the fact that I, years ago when I did home parties and I did private parties, I would dress up. I would wear black pants, nice, like I was going out somewhere dressy. I wanted to really make that showing professionalism, right? And there was one time a couple years in that I was meditating in like an office off the front door, and I was getting ready to start, and somebody had been running late, and she comes bolting in the front door, and I hear her say, "Oh my God, is the psychic here yet? Oh my God." And but everything she said put me way up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say thank you for that credit. And I appreciate it because I've worked hard to be able to be who I am, to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But when my students come in, and a lot of them will say, you know, well, I know that I'm gifted and I know I can do certain things, but I'll never be able to do what you can do the way you do it. But I know I can do something. I stop them in their tracks. Listen, as mediums and psychics, we are all the same, and we are all capable of what we are capable of. Okay. I could do things just like Bernice Golden, but Bernice Golden, who I loved dearly, did things and taught things that do not apply to me. She used to teach that, you had to have a 2-week waiting period and whatnot. I had someone who passed as the person was sitting in front of me in my office come to me, and I delivered messages, and I thought I was channeling him because he was still in a coma. No, he died and came right to me because they were sitting in front of me, and their phone had rung during the session, and they didn't answer it, and they called me on the way home and said the voicemail we got, that phone call, was the hospital calling to tell us he died. You were talking to him.
Wow.
So it's just because our gifts work differently, right? It's
I got
not right,
goosebumps on that.
right? I know. So for
Sheesh.
me, there's no need for the whatever. That does not happen that way for me. For her, it did. So for her to teach that way,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with that. But that takes us back to the whole, you know, um, there's not one way to do it. One is not better than the other. If we are working at our capacity, at full capacity, and we've learned what we're supposed to, I tell my students the same thing. I am here because I have been who I am and I did the work, and I'm continuously doing the work. You just haven't figured things out yet. Once you do, you're going to come join the party. It's not about who's better and who's not, and who's more capable and who's, well, I mean, I guess some people, unfortunately, there are people who fudge things and are
Mhm.
not as strong as they say they are, and whatnot. Don't jump the gun. Do the work, practice, be honest about the level that you're at. You'll get there. You will get there. And then when you've built that solid foundation, you'll just continue to build it, just like the rest of us are building on it. So I started dressing down for parties. So now I dress like I was going
Mhm.
out for a nice dinner with my girlfriends, not like I was going for a job interview, because I want people to remember that more than likely before I got to your house that night, I threw in a load of laundry. I probably yelled at a kid, and I probably said something to my husband at the time, as I ran out the door. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like, I am a normal person who can do something, but I still live a life, and I'm just like you.
Mhm.
And so that's really important for people to remember, because I think that's a lot of what gets in people's way. um it's cool to look at someone and idolize them for the right reasons, not the wrong ones, not if it's going to put yourself down.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
people need to stop believing everything they see on TV.
Oh God,
It
please. Yes.
doesn't necessarily happen like that, but
No.
um,
TV is TV.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
Yes.
it is. I mean, you can believe everything I said when I was on TV because it was true, but
Well,
not, I better watch what I say there. Wait a second. No, everything I shared in my interview was true. And it happened repeatedly all the time. But you're right. Like the TV shows where you see just the investigators and just the whatevers, you're relying on spirit lies. You're relying on technology. And are they using that
Mhm.
technology properly? Not that they're even trying to do it on purpose and misuse it. They may not be aware of like an electrical box being somewhere close,
Mhm.
and they put down this one piece of equipment that's going to pick up on that. Like you there's so much to be aware of to make sure you're doing things the right way, that sometimes it just, and then other times
Mhm.
people just want what they want, so TV makes it happen.
so
It
Mhm.
is.
for for anybody that's listening or wondering and might be interested in getting classes or being
Mhm.
mentored, where, well, one, are you accepting students, and two, how
Yeah.
can they find out like how to reach you and how to sign up for these?
So for any of my services that you're interested in, you can call me. You can just call my phone number. You are welcome to email me. You're also welcome to message me. But ultimately, if you have, I like to still connect with people. If I do a show, I usually just have you call me to buy your tickets. Some places don't prefer that, but I like to do that. People actually, I just did one in Buffalo and Hurdle not too long ago, and at least two people said, "Oh my God, this is actually you. I didn't expect to talk to you." And I said, "Oh yeah, I like to talk to people if they have questions for me. If they, again, I'm a normal person. I was sitting on my couch in my PJs when the one lady called me. I am a normal person, you know? So yeah, absolutely. I'm not untouchable. I mean, these other things make life easier, and I'm sure I'm going to have to start using them, but call me, because if we're ready to book something, I'm going to have you call me anyway. Just to talk out the details and to solidify, because people, when they email or they text, before you know it, they get distracted and 3 hours goes by and I'm sitting there waiting for a confirmation on something, and it's just easier to have a conversation and be done with it. But you can always reach me. I have a website as well, and that's the blueeyedempath.com, so you can go to that as well. Yeah, but there's lots of ways to reach me. Yeah.
Now, we did talk beforehand. I said I was going to bring up one thing because it's always been a funny story for me.
It is.
So
Yes, it has.
and I'm curious, like, how it happened. So let me set the
Okay.
stage here. We were investigating at a place called the Wayne County Museum and Jail.
Yeah.
A couple hours away from here. It's an old jail, but it's like a house attached with a little jail next to it. It's all in one building. We were upstairs, and it was me, Tom, Kristie, I believe Kat was there too, upstairs in the house part. And all of a sudden Kristie goes quiet, and we're like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then she turns to us with, it didn't even look like Kristie. It was like a completely different face, a different voice. And she started channeling somebody out of the blue. So what was that, Kristie? How does that happen? Do you have to open yourself? Do you have to open yourself up to that kind of thing, or does it just happen?
Oh, it did. That's how I got on
Okay.
Destination Fear. Actually, that's how I
Yeah.
got the invitation, because it happened when I was at the Statler doing, and I allowed Mary Jean to do that. So,
It's the wildest
when
thing
I'm
I've ever
in,
seen.
I want you to tell him what she said to you.
Well, she didn't say it to me. She said it to Tom. She told Tom.
that was in the jail.
This person
right? That
told
was the
Tom,
jail.
"I don't like you."
Oh, I was right in his face. 6'4" Tom. I was like,
Yeah. "I don't like you."
He was like, "Well, I don't like you either."
That sounds like Tom.
He's like, "What's going on here?"
It was crazy.
So especially if we're doing a project like we were, I absolutely open myself up, which is, and I'll tell people when I'm working with them, keep the camera on me at all times, because if something like that does happen and I actually allow a spirit to use me completely, if I were to tell someone, "Hey, this is happening over here," I'm going to probably pull myself out of it, especially if the connection there's a little bit of a struggle with the connection. So, but they have to earn it. I have to know that I can trust them. I have to know, they have to understand that I'm still in control. So at any point, even though it doesn't sound, look, or act like me, I am there. And if they start to use or abuse the situation, I will bring it to an end very quickly. That actually happened at a private party one time too. And I had a whole living room full of people, and this poor woman was like, I think, peeing her pants in her chair. And it was a party. It's a party they bring me back every year for the last. I think as long as I've been doing this publicly, I've been going to this lady's house, and every year for a party.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was the first time it happened in that kind of a situation, and it took me by surprise too. But it was necessary, so I let it happen. And but especially when I'm in a situation like a project we were doing, yes, I will always allow myself to be open that way, because I am protected. So, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
it made for a fun story that we still talk about to this day.
Yeah.
They definitely do still talk about it, and there will be times like we're investigating and it'll come up as a reference, or
really?
yes. Yes.
Do I get royalties for that? No, I don't think so. I think that's the most I've ever been probably mentioned ever. So,
Oh, it's funny because like, yeah, it's come up. I would say at least
oh,
5 or
wow.
6 times
Hmm.
That's hysterical.
in
Oh
just
my
a few.
God.
Yeah, in a few of our
Oh my gosh.
investigations.
And it's funny because Mike and I just went and we recruited the help of another investigator that we sometimes work with. And we did a residential. And so we wanted a little extra
Hmm.
there. And so we were sitting at the table the first night we were there. And the guys are just doing their thing. And all of a sudden, and we weren't even there that long. We hadn't even really officially started anything. And this thing hit me out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, guess we're doing this.
Hmm.
And the new guy was like, didn't even, he did not realize what was going on. And I
Yeah.
know that at one point Mike did. I think he was a little late to realizing that too, because he was so
Hmm.
engrossed in reading like the stuff he was reading. And here
Hmm.
I'm like, if I say anything, they thought I fell asleep because
Yeah.
I did kind of go out first and allowed it to start. But if I had stopped, that if I interrupted it, it would have been it. So they kind of caught at the end until I did the evil laugh and I was laughing at him and the guy started, you know,
Yeah.
kind of going at him a little bit. But yeah. Um yeah, it does happen. And not often. It has, but it does happen. So yeah. I
That's.
could do it with intention if I wanted to, but
Hmm.
gotta watch that
So
too. So
what stops it from just like somebody like coming right up to you and like, all right, I'm taking you over? Like, how do you the
boundaries.
protection, the boundaries and stuff? Yeah.
Boundaries. They know that I will fight
Uh-huh.
them, and they know
Uh-huh.
that I won't. I don't tolerate.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
That's where your self confidence and competence and knowing what you're capable of.
Hmm.
People who are gifted who try to shut it down or try to ignore it, usually for very good reason, because they've had bad experiences, they have been scared, they have whatever, they don't want anything to do with it.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, if you are meant to be a medium and that is who you are and you are meant to do this, at some point it's going to come back up and you're not going to be able to control it.
Hmm.
And the harder you try to shut it down, you're going to find that after a while you can't anymore. And that actually makes you a sitting duck, because the spirit world knows what you're capable of and they will use it against you because you don't know how to use it and
Hmm.
you don't know how to control it. And because your fear is still there, which is very real. I spent, like I said, all of my childhood being afraid, and teenage years, and it is very overwhelming. And they will use it against you. So your only defense is to learn who you are, what you're capable of, and own it. And people will say all the time, I don't want to do what you do. You don't have to do what I do. Maybe you're never meant to tell anybody that you're capable of it, but you have to learn you, and you have to learn what you're capable of and what you are supposed to be doing. Even if you do nothing with it, you have to own that part of you. It's still a part of you. And that is the only way you're going to get stronger. And I definitely am protected. I definitely have, I have a lot of divine protection as well. But at the end of the day, they know. I always tell people it's like learning yourself and knowing what you can do and owning who you are is like having an unarmed security guard, or knowing what you're capable of and kind of denying it and whatnot, and kind of understanding it is like having an unarmed security guard in a store, right? The shoplifters are going to see there's somebody standing there. Okay, they can't really do anything to us, but it's a deterrent. They're going to kind of leave you alone. Not everybody will. Some people are still going to come in and try to get away with something. Um, but knowing and owning who you are and being it and living it and doing it, that's like being an armed security guard. You're guarding your own, your own stuff. You're protecting your own. And that's kind of like the difference. Yeah.
So it's getting kind of late here. So tell us what do you have coming up here in the next little bit? You going to any events, or what do you have going on?
I am. I have a couple of things in the works still, but March 28th, which I think is a week from Saturday.
Mhm.
This month is like flying. I'm going to be in North Tonawanda for those of you who are in Buffalo or in the surrounding areas.
Mhm.
I'm not quite sure how many tickets are left, but I'm going to be at a little shop called Mystical Emporium in North Tonawanda. And there is a link online, and on my page it has been shared, and you can go right to the stores page as well, or call there for tickets. And it's going to be a gallery. It's going to be more of an intimate gallery, so it's going to be nice. I'm doing autographs for pooches, and this will be number 7. This will be number 4 for me. This year is really special because it would have been Murray's 20th birthday. So Tim and Lauren are planning a huge celebration. It's going to be bigger than ever, and I am going to be one of the guest mediums along with Deb DeRoos and Scotty Rorick. Love those two. And we are going to be doing on Friday night a gallery reading together, and that goes along with your tickets. So that is free, even though the event's not till Saturday.
Where's
But
that one at?
So this one's in Houghton Lake, Michigan. So you're gonna have to come out to Michigan for that. But for those of you who are out that way, come on out. And actually, Mike is going to be joining me on that one. So he'll be there. We kind of do that for each other with the tables, and especially with the show again now. So yeah, so we're going to be the Lakeside Resort and Conference Center in Houghton Lake, Michigan. And it's going to be great. I mean, there are so many people that are going to be attending this, and it's just going to be so much fun. And then I'm going to be with you guys in September, the other really big one that I'm doing right now at the Underworld Convention.
I didn't know that.
I didn't tell him.
No, he didn't tell me that one.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't know that one.
Yes,
No,
I will be
that's
there.
why.
I will be there. Yes, sir. Yes, I will be there. Yep, in
that'll be fun.
Pennsylvania. I can't wait. I'm super excited about this one. I was asked if I was going back to Rock Island. I would love to. I don't know if that's going to be able to happen yet. So we will see. Hopefully by the time I figure some things out for that point, because that's October, right?
Yeah,
so I would love to. I had a blast last year with you guys. I mean, the whole country was hit with this unprecedented heat wave.
Yes.
You know,
it was so hot.
I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to escape it, right? To go there, and it was just as bad. So, but everyone did a great job. I was asked if I was going to go back. I'm going to try, but I have not been able to commit. So these are the 3 big ones that I have coming up as of right now. But there are some, you never know. I tend to do a lot last minute too, depending on
what happens.
So, yes. So.
Yeah, I did not tell Nate that you were joining us at CultureCon.
So
I was waiting to see. I was going to wait till the end and be like, oh, tell us what you're doing in September.
We'll have a blast.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be, oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. And I'm part of the committee for that event. So
I saw that.
Yeah, so I've been working on some things behind the scenes, and it's going to be incredible. Awesome. There are people that are coming that I know Nate is like really, really excited about.
That's so
we're
cool.
getting promo videos from different people. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And I know you kind of helped out with Rock Island last year too. It was amazing. You all did a great job. You worked so hard and put so much detail into that. I mean, it was, I can't say enough about that. So I can only imagine how this is going to be, how the Underworld's going to be. So yeah, I'm super excited. I know there's people I've not seen in a long time that I can't wait to see either. So yeah.
Yeah. And I like this event because it, like, you have your paracons, but I just keep calling it the CultureCon because there's horror, there's metaphysical, there's paranormal, there's urbex, there's cryptids. There, I mean, it hits every aspect of supernatural, and it's just really cool. There's different galleries. It's just going to be really, really cool.
Yeah. I know. I can't wait. It's going to be a great weekend. Yeah. So, but I'll be doing private readings there too. Yeah.
Perfect. So anybody that's in the area, make sure you come to any of those events and see Kristie, because she is phenomenal at what she does.
Thank you.
Always worth. And if you can't, get on her website, book with her, do whatever, have a party. We've done. I've thrown a lot of people your way in this area.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Has reached out to you. So we've Kristie's actually done a party for my family. We had a get together the one night, so that was great. Highly recommend that. So if you're thinking about finding somebody, reach out to Kristie. I'll give her my stamp of approval.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Very much.
With that, Ashley, do we have anything next week? Are we taking a week off?
Well, we haven't really talked about it, but I mean,
We'll
we can
figure
really
something
do
out.
whatever.
Yeah.
We normally have been doing every other
Mhm.
Thursday, but with some of the things that have come up, we unfortunately had to cancel a few
Mm.
shows. So we're hoping to reschedule and get back to a normal type of
Mhm.
every other week.
Preaching to the choir.
I'm
We
sure
know how that
Mhm.
is.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
yeah,
Kristie
we're good at
understands.
figuring it out last
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
yeah.
Yeah. Aw. Well, this was
Alright.
so much fun. Thank you so much
Yes,
for having me. I really appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Yes.
It
I love
was.
you
Yes,
guys.
thank you for being thank you for being
Mhm.
on. We had fun. Again,
Yeah.
anybody listening, hit up Kristie because again, one of the best you will come
Mhm.
across. I promise
Thank
you.
you.
But with that, we love you. Thank you for being on so much. And everyone, we may or may not see you next week. It'll be a surprise.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.